Hello, everybody. It is another Monday. Another Monday. I am telling you, I'm so excited about today's show. So, if you're just tuning into this is Diamond Monday. I'm here every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today's going to be a really cool day because we're going to be talking about ourselves. I'm going to be talking about me and the questions that I've asked. So today is the 5 questions that are going to change your life today. The 5 questions that are going to change your life today. So, I wanted to go ahead and just say hello to everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and go on Facebook. We are on YouTube right now at Dream Chasers Radio. So YouTube is being aired right now live, Dream Chasers Radio. And we have the 5 questions that's going to change your life today. It's so interesting that we have so many different things going on in our lives. I'm going to go ahead and put this up here. It should be there. Why is it not there? Okay, here we go. Hold on a second. So I might be airing in 2 different places at the same time. So I'm going to remove this one. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about the 5 questions that we actually should be asking ourselves. What should we be asking ourselves? Where should we be? How should we be? What should we ask ourselves? So I'm going to go ahead and type in over here on my other computer the 5 questions that we should be asking ourselves to change our lives today. So I'm going to move this computer out of the way because I had another computer here. And I'm going to go ahead and move this one. And I'm going to put this one in front of me because this is the computer I need in front of me. So we're going to be talking about the 5 questions. Oh my gosh, let me pick up this paperwork. The 5 questions that we need to be asking ourselves. Literally asking ourselves, because we need to change our lives. We need to actually look on the things that, okay, here we go. We need to be looking at the things that are going to change our lives. Not that's going to keep us in one spot, but it's going to help us to change, help us to advance, help us to be that better person that other people see in us. Or do they? Do they see? Okay, yeah, that's going to be interesting. So let me go ahead and just type out what I was going to type out because I had it on the other computer, but it's not working. I'm learning this new program. And, by the way, when you're starting something, when you're starting like me, this is only my 3rd time coming on. There are going to be times where you're not going to be able to figure everything out. And that's okay. It's okay because we all have a learning curve. And I'm just here. I'm being real with you. I'm showing you what it takes to start something. And this is my 3rd broadcast. Next week, we're going to have an author on the show. Oh, yes, but not just any author. A New York Times best-selling publishing author. So not only does she write books, but she gets people publishing deals with New York's best publishers. You can't miss this. You can't miss this. It's going to be an amazing, amazing time. So let's see what we got here. I want to make sure that I got everything I am looking for. And also, I want to make sure that everybody is joining me. So I'm trying to kind of like keep my cool here while people come in to the room and actually hang out with me. So here we go. The 5 questions that will change your life right now. I'll put that up. So I find out that the 5 questions that's going to change your life right now are the ones that are going to be life-changing, the ones that you're going to ask yourself. What are you going to do about yourself? Because I believe truly that that's where we all start. That's where things begin for us. And when we don't ask ourselves these questions, we can't change our life. You know, a lot of people say, oh, these people are rich. These people, they have so many different connections. And no. You can't say that. You can't say that anymore. We're not going to say that anymore. We're not going to be negative about ourselves anymore. So that's why I wanted to go over the 5 questions that change our lives. Please share this with people that you know, because I'm literally going in right now to my Facebook, and I'm going to share this with people I know and tag people that you know, because maybe people need to hear this. Maybe there are other people out there that need to hear this. So I'm going to my Facebook. My Facebook page is Dream Chasers Radio, but also I have it on my personal page. So I'm just going to go ahead and make it public. I don't think this goes public. And please make sure that you are, here we go. Yeah, it's not public. Make sure that you are engaging with me, asking me questions, because I am literally wanting you to ask me questions. So the 5 questions that are going to change your life today. So, my gosh, I'm going to go ahead and ask the first question. And I know I have one person watching, and that's good. Thank you so much for joining me. It's a blessing to have you. And I hope that a lot of people actually see this. And I've done a lot of studying on the 5 questions that I thought were the most relevant and life-changing for me. And the first question is, do people see me differently than I see myself? Do people see me differently than I see myself? So the first question is, and I'm coming out here. Do people, I'm writing this down, guys. How many people see me differently than I see myself? The reason I'm doing this and I'm writing it out is because I want people to be able to see it later when you're going back and you're listening to this. So the question is, do you see yourself differently than other people see you? I think that we criticize ourselves the most. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and read what I have here. It says, have you ever heard a recording of your voice and thought, oh my gosh, is that really what I sound like? That's terrible. Yes, because I have done that. I have done that. Being on the radio, being on podcasting, being a singer. Yeah, I didn't know that that's what I sound like. And I tried to change my voice, trying to make it sound different and better. But in the long run, I'm just me, and I can't change that. I can try to make it proper, but my voice is going to be my voice no matter what I do. And I don't really believe that whatever I do is going to help me to like my voice more. So I'm just going to have to love my voice. And I've come to love my voice. I've come to love the way I'm singing, the way I'm speaking. And now I'm accepting of it, and I love it. And there's a reason that I do. It's because I am me. And that's another thing we're going to go over in a second. But I am me, and loving my voice is something that I had to do. So because of the way we sound, it's weird. Okay. So people hear us differently than we hear ourselves. Well, yes, definitely. It's because, see, the sound comes from our head, and it comes out of our head. When it comes out of our head, it comes out differently. What we hear in our head isn't what people hear out here. It's like you record yourself and you didn't know you sounded that way, but now it's out here. Yeah. So when you are looking at someone and they see your inner being. They see you. They see who you are, how much you love, but you don't see it. Let's go ahead and change that. What can we do to change the way we see ourselves, to actually find out how other people see us? Well, there are a couple of ways to do that. I'm going to go ahead and write this down here. There are a couple of ways to actually do that. There's the number one way is to ask others how they ask others what they see in you. And ask them to be real. Because if you don't, they're going to give you a fake, they're going to give you the family version of everything. So you want to ask people, how they feel. Here it is. Ask others what they see in you and ask them to be real. Kind of take a survey of yourself, but from other people's perspective. So this is kind of weird. I know it really is, but it's like stepping outside the box. You're never really going to believe who you are until you step out of the box and actually take an assessment of yourself. But let other people do that first, because you're going to write this down. So you're going to write it down. You're going to actually write it down. So I'm writing this down. Write it down and take a note of it. I know it's weird. I know. Do you have any questions so far or any comments? So I'm going to go ahead and go on Facebook because I really don't know if you guys are saying anything. And then I'm going to go here on YouTube and make sure that I am in the know of what's going on, because I want to make sure that I'm not. Give me 1 second. Missing anything. So you're going to ask people, take an assessment of you. I know it sounds really weird, but when I'm looking for someone to tell me what's going on in their lives, or I want someone to actually help me out, to actually give me an assessment, I actually learn from that. I really do learn from that. I learn a lot. I learn what I need to correct. I learn what I need to work on, because if they're going to be truthful, if they're going to be real with it, then that's what I need to change my life. That's what I need to improve my life. That's what I need to see in order to advance and to get better with myself. Because in the long run, if we don't love ourselves, if people see us differently than we see ourselves, so we see ourselves as a nuance, a failure, someone who can't get it done. There's so many different things. We're so critical about ourselves, but think about it. Think about it. Every day when you wake up and you go out there and you do your best, why do we put ourselves down? When we took our first steps, everybody clapped. Oh my gosh, look at that, the baby took that first step. Oh my gosh. And everybody was freaking out. The baby was crawling and rolling over. How come we can't celebrate our first steps? Our first steps towards a better life, our first steps towards our weight loss, our first steps towards our business. How come we can't clap and say, oh my gosh, our baby took our first step. Oh my God. Why can't we do that? We can, and we should. We should be so happy that we've taken the first steps towards wherever we want to go in life. We should be so happy. So why do people see us differently than we see ourselves because we figure we should be further along by now. We should have done that, but we can't be like that because then what's going to happen is we're going to keep ourselves back instead of moving ourselves forward. So in the long run, we need to see what others see in us. So in order to do that, we're going to need to begin to take an assessment. So what you'll do is you'll write down the things that you believe about yourself. And then when you get your list from your friends or your family, you'll compare that list. Whatever you've put down is wrong. I know. Whatever you've written down is wrong. Because can you really see yourself like that? Could you put anybody else down like that? Do you put people down like you put yourself down? I don't think so. And if you do, then you really are in need of an assessment. So that's question number one. Question number one is, do we see ourselves differently than other people see ourselves? So what we're going to do is we're going to take an assessment. So basically what we're going to do with this is we're going to go ahead and we're going to ask other people what they see in us and ask them to be real. That's going to be the biggest thing right there. And then we're going to ask them to write it down for us. Write it down. And we're going to write down the way we feel about ourselves and what we believe in ourselves. And that's going to be the comparison. So you're going to compare. The true you is the you that others see, the giving you, the one person that always tries to do their best. But can you see yourself like that? You should, because that is you. You should, because that is the person that people see. That is the person that you portray out to other people. That giving person, that loving person, that is the person that you are. So if you've written anything negative on your list about the way you see yourself, you're wrong. You're wrong. And I had to confront myself about this many times. Yes, I was very wrong. Very wrong. And once I got over that, once I did, got over being wrong and putting myself down and criticizing myself so much, I began to live. I did. I began to love life, love my first steps, applaud them. Yes, yes, yeah, woohoo! Yes, yes. And when I had setbacks, but it didn't mean I wasn't moving forward. It just means that I had a setback. It's okay. Because when you're moving forward, you're learning. And the learning process has a learning curve. And it's not really a setback. It's more like a setup. So that's going to be the first thing that we need to do is we're going to take an assessment. I know I'm going over this for a second, but the 5 questions that will change your life right now is the number 1 question right here that we have is, do people see me differently than I see myself? And you're going to ask others to write down what they see in you, okay, and ask them to be real. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to write down how you feel about yourself. And if it's anything negative on there, you're wrong. You're wrong. Now, if others have negative things about you, then we need to address that. But you're wrong about yourself only because, remember, this is what others see in you. There's a potential that they people see in you that you just sometimes don't see in yourself. So that's question number 1. Does anybody have any questions or comments about something that they've had, some kind of an experience they had where they saw themselves less than who they really were? If you did, go ahead and write that. Go ahead and make a comment in the comment section below, and I will get that. And that way we can kind of share all this good information. Good information. Okay, so question number 2. Question number 2 that's going to change your life today. And you know what? It's just one of those things that I had to really look at myself and go, yeah, that's, yeah, I'm going to have to change that. And the one thing that I have to change is going to be, and I'm going to type this out and I'm going to just post it. This is a big one. In what areas of my life am I settling? Wow. That's a lot to say, because you could be settling in your relationships, you could be settling in your job, you could be settling in whatever else you feel like maybe I should be further along. Am I just giving up on this? Am I just saying forget it? I'm done. I don't know. So everything that we're doing today, I need you to actually write down, because you're going to ask these questions to yourself and you're going to answer them. This is the reason why we are doing this exercise today. We're doing that because we need and we want to improve our lives and move forward and do the things that we've always set out to do. And I said it earlier that this is only my third broadcast. And so I thought I could do one thing and I can't, and it's okay. Because why? I'm applauding myself. I have done this now 3 Mondays in a row. Go figure. And Diamond Monday is not about me. It's about you guys. It's about everybody here getting better, learning different things. And also, I'm going to have interviews here, so it's going to be great. And this is something that I really, really wanted to do. So applaud myself. Yay, for taking these steps and moving forward. So again, in what areas of my life am I settling? This is another question. And so how do we get out of that? How do we get out of settling? How do we get out of settling? I always say that settling is usually you give up. You just, I'm done. I've tried this, I've tried that, I've tried that. You ever heard of 100 ways to die? What is it? 1,000 ways to live, or 1,000 ways to die, or whatever the case may be. There's 1,000 ways to settle. Guys, keep trying. Keep trying. There's 1,000 ways plus to settle. But if we're going to settle on everything, then at the end of our lives, when we finished everything, what are we going to say to ourselves? How are we going to reconcile that? Settling for why? What? I did what? Why did I do that? Why did I settle for that? Why did I settle for mediocrity? Why did I settle for this? Why did I settle for that? How come I didn't get the ice cream flavor I wanted? Why did I settle for that? It's so small. I know. I went there. But I mean, think about it. We settle all the time. So why do we do this? Because we don't want to try harder. We don't want to try harder. We don't want to go any further because we don't want to put no more time into it. We figured that we put enough time into this. This is where it is. This is where it's going to remain. This is where it's going to stay. But no, it shouldn't be like that. So let's go over a couple of questions now. If you guys have any questions or any comments, don't forget to write it below. If you have any suggestions or any questions that you believe it would help change somebody's life today, please ask it, and I'll go ahead and put that up. Because I mean, think about it. It's just one of those things that if we really truly think about it, settling is not good. It's not good. Now, this is what I'm going to say. I know a lot of people say, oh, yeah, I don't say that because then you're going to have people divorcing each other. No. If you love each other, don't settle in that love to just take all the things that you've been taking. Explain yourself. Write it in a note. Have a meeting. Go to counseling. If you really, truly love, don't settle for each other's, stuff. Basically, if you truly love each other, there's all kinds of different situations. There's abusive situations where there's settling in there, and that's going to be a professional, not me, because I don't do that. But at the same time, it's like, why are we settling in that situation? Why do we do that? So settling for that job when you know you want to be an author. Settling for that job when you know you want to be an entrepreneur. Settling for the body that you really don't want, but you just settle because this is what happened and so be it. So there's 1,000 ways to learn different things, to not settle. There's 1,000 ways to settle, and there's 1,000 ways of plus to fight it off. You got to go ahead and go after your goals. You cannot let that drop. You cannot settle for things. Let's not settle for anything anymore. Let's work hard for the things that we want, for that love, that admiration, those goals, that business, whatever it is, that book. Even if you suck in the beginning, it's a learning process. It's like I said earlier, when you first learned to walk, you didn't just like get up and walk like a mile. You got up and you walked one step and everybody was clapping. Why can't we do that with our business? Why can't we do that with our relationships? Why can't we do that with our books? How come we've settled for not applauding our first moments, our first steps? We cannot settle. We cannot settle. And so I ask you, please, do not settle anymore. Do not settle anymore. So that's going to be the second question. In what areas of my life am I settling? Remember to write these questions down and answer them. Answer them. Maybe even go through them with your family, your teenage kids, because these are very, very important questions. These are questions that are going to propel you towards the life you've always seen yourself living. And why not? Why not? Yes, it's going to take work, y'all. You don't think I'm working? Do you think I'm working? I am working up in here. I'm working towards being a bigger YouTube channel. I'm working towards the 100.9 FM that I'm on. I'm on FM radio. I'm on AM radio every Monday at 11 o'clock. I'm on WCCF iHeartRadio. I'm on podcasting. I'm doing all kinds of different things. I'm guest speaking and this and the other. And yes, I do all that. You don't understand how much work I put into this. I'm in my office day in and sometimes until 5 a.m. putting in the work because I know once I get it straight, once I get it going, it's going to move on its own. It's going to be a locomotive. It's just going to go. It's just going to go. But you got to get it started. Look, guys, I'm still in the freaking train station, okay? I'm still picking up passengers. But I'm applauding myself every step of the way because I have to understand that every little step I take means I'm closer to my balance. I'm closer to my running. I'm closer to my sprinting. I'm closer to the next station where I pick up the next people and I say, hey, let's all move together. And then what happens to a train when it slows down and stops? It has to slowly pull out of that next station. And that's going to be your next plateau. If you don't go for it, you'll never reach the next goal. It's a sad thing to see people dwindle and crumble because they gave up. So don't settle. Don't settle. Don't settle anymore. Okay, that's question number 2. So let's go back to question number 1. Question number 1 was ask others what they see in you and ask them to be real. And it's also question number 1 was do other people see you differently than you see yourself? So we do have, if you're missing this, thank you guys so much again for tuning in. And this is Diamond Monday with me. And this is my third, yay! This is my third broadcast. I'm having a wonderful time here because I'm seeing the progress. I'm seeing what I'm doing. And I'm actually asking these questions to myself. And I'm going, wow, this is really helping me. Forget about you. This is helping me. So I'm so excited about this. So again, if you have any questions or any comments, please don't hesitate to write them below, because I am looking at my pages and I'm making sure that I am attentive to you guys. This is important. It's important to us to move forward. And Diamond Money is all about that. And don't forget that next week I'm going to have a wonderful person on the show next week that I am so excited to have. I do have her. Where is it? Okay, here she is. Diamond Monday, March 8th. Special guest, Randy Peyser, who is a publisher. She gets people publishing deals. So if you've ever wanted to write, you ever wanted to be an author, or you have people who are authors and they want that New York publisher deal, Randy's a person to get it. She has actually gotten people in Time Magazine. She's gotten people in all different magazines that are equal to Time Magazine. I mean, I don't remember Cosmopolitan and stuff like that. She's amazing. She gets people the deals. And she also is going to give us tips on what these publishers are looking for in the books when we write them, and why they refuse them, and why do they get one and not the other. So she knows, because she does this all the time. This is her job. And so she will be here next week on Monday at 7 p.m. To actually help us all out, because, you know, we may not want to write a lot of books, but we may want to write one. And she deals with memoirs. So if you ever want to write a memoir, this is going to be an amazing thing, an amazing time. So the question number 2 was, what areas of my life am I settling in for? Why am I settling? Let's not settle anymore. No more settling, guys. And let's go ahead and applaud ourselves for taking the first steps of moving forward. You know, we're babies in this, and we definitely gotta just give ourselves the time to progress, give ourselves the time to learn, give ourselves the motivation that we need to go ahead and go forward, and not put ourselves down anymore. Let's just not do that, because that just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't do anything for anybody. So, all right. So question number 3. Now, everybody asks, where do you think you'll be in 5 years? Well, daggone it, I have no idea where I'm going to be in 5 years. As a matter of fact, I don't even know about next year, because in 2019, nobody knew about COVID. So everything was gone. So what do you say? I'm not even going to ask that question, because that's an irrelevant question. Because I got to see myself here today, right now. This is where I'm at right now, today. You know, right here, right now, today. Because there was a lot of people that thought they were going to be today here with us, and they're not. So I got to be in that today, because if that's not a question that's going to change our lives. It really isn't a question that's going to change our lives. The question that's going to change our lives, and I'm going to go right here. What's stopping me from doing the things that I should be doing? What's stopping me? So that's the next question. That's the next one. What is stopping me? And I'm going to go ahead and put that here. Let's see. What is stopping me? I'm gonna type this out. What is stopping me from, here it is, I have this, doing the things I should be doing? What's stopping us? We're stopping us. We are stopping us. Isn't that sad? Literally, we are stopping ourselves from doing the things that we want to do in life. And I'm going to give you I'm going to give you a reason why we're stopping it. We're stopping it because we believe that we can't. We're stopping it because we believe our circumstances don't allow it. We're stopping it because we believe that we don't have enough money. We're stopping it because we believe that we're not smart enough. We're stopping it because everybody else says. But is that a real reason to stop? Is that a real reason not to do the things that we know we should and could do? I'm going to dare you today. I'm going to dare you to look at, do me a favor. What is it that you've always wanted to do? Go ahead and type that into the comment box. I want to see, go ahead and make a comment. What is the one thing that you've always wanted to do that you haven't done? Go ahead, right? I'm ready. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm looking and I'm waiting. Is there something that you've always wanted to do, you've never done? Go ahead and write that in the comment box, or go ahead and make a comment. I'm literally waiting, guys, because I want to make sure that we address this. With me, I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything. There's absolutely, can you see this? I'm going to say there is nothing I am not doing right now that I've always wanted to do. So I just made my own comment. There is nothing I am not doing right now that I've always wanted to do. Can you say that? Can you say that to yourself? Can you say that? Can anybody here say that there is nothing that they are doing right now that they that they wanted to do? You're doing everything. Everything you've ever wanted to do, you're doing it. If that's the case, congratulations. I applaud you. However, if there's something you've always wanted to do and you're not doing it, what's holding you back? You are. Tell me what's holding you back. Is it incompetence? Is it procrastination? I hate that word, procrastination. Why do we have that word, procrastination? There is nothing I'm not doing right now that I've always wanted to do. This is the biggest thing that I have to say. I took the leap. I do podcasting. I do the radio show. I sing. I've written 2 books. Now, it doesn't mean that they're popular books. and by no means they are. But I did that. I have a magazine out, Diamond Magazine. I'm doing that. I'm sitting here. I'm recording. Literally, I'm doing everything I've ever wanted to do. And I'm very happy doing it. Very happy. What is it that you're not doing right now that you've always wanted to do? I'm still waiting. We have to be real with ourselves. What is it? What is it? Tell me. I'm waiting. Because literally, we can go after it. So I'm going to challenge you. Right where you're writing down all of this stuff that we're talking about today, I want you to please write this in and make that list and start checking them off one by one. I know some of that stuff that you've always wanted to do may take some time. It may even take months or years. It's okay. It's okay. Because it took me a long time to get where I'm at today too. But if I never took the first steps to get to where I'm at today, I would never be where I'm at today. Now, look, I don't want to jump out of a plane, but I do want to fly to Hawaii. Listen, I may not want to, ride with the dolphins, but I like to go and watch the dolphins. I may not want to ride that big roller coaster. Yes, I do, because I love roller coasters, but I may not. But I have friends of mine who do, and I can go and join them as they go. But I'm going to get on it. I like roller coasters, y'all. I'm just going to say it. But let me tell you, just because there are things that you don't want to do doesn't make them the least important on your list. What happens is there are a lot of things that are going to take the back burner right now. But that's okay because they're still on your list. Do you realize how many people have passed away? How many kids have gone to the program where they try to get their dream and their wish? And their wish is to meet somebody, or their wish is to do this. We have our lives that we can actually accomplish as much, to get as much done, to be happy. Now, happiness is an interior thing. It's not exterior. This is why we're talking about the 5 questions that's going to change your life today. That's why we are focusing on the inside of us. Inside. Because if we can't get inside together, all this outside stuff, it's just going to fall apart. So I am not doing anything right now that I don't want to do. Everything that I've ever wanted to do, I'm doing right now. I am. I'm doing it. Because why? Life is short. And people say that all the time. But just yesterday, I graduated from high school. But it wasn't yesterday. I graduated, and I'm gonna age myself. I'm gonna date myself right now. I graduated in 1990. Wow. We're talking 31 years ago. I graduated high school. But it was just like yesterday. The time has gone so fast with raising the children, being in business, doing all the other stuff. By the time I looked around, here I am, 30 years later, 31 years later, and I still had stuff I had to do. Who kept me from doing that? Could I have accomplished a little bit more? Yeah, I could have. I didn't. I didn't believe myself to be competent enough to do it. Believe you me, there has been many moments where I thought that I couldn't because I wasn't smart enough. But that was a lie. Because other people, like we said that first question, other people saw what I didn't see in me. So that's going to be something that we really, truly need to get a hold of. What are we not doing that we need to be doing? So what is stopping me from doing the things I should or want to be doing? We got question number 4. Question number 4. I have it here. Give me a second. Woo. This is it right here. And, this question number 4 was a doozy for me. It was a doozy for me. I'm going to tell you it's a doozy for me. Let me fix my hair real quick. It was a doozy for me. But right here, this question here, I'm going to go ahead and say that this question here. Oh, yeah. Okay. I hope I got this right. Question number 4. What am I missing by choosing to worry or be afraid? I'm missing everything. I'm missing out on life, on joy, the decision to be happy, the decision to be happy, not because he made me happy or that made me happy. No, it was a choice that I made to go, you have got to be kidding me. That is hilarious. Or, oh my gosh, I'm having such a great time. That's a choice. Because when things go bad, can you see the good in it? What am I missing by worrying or being afraid? I'm missing life. I'm missing the moments that pass me by. I'm missing the first steps and the first smells and the first everything of my kids, of my family, the last moments of my parents as they leave this earth, or my grandparents, or people I've known. I miss so much by just deciding to worry and be afraid. Can we choose not to be afraid and worry? Yes. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. And we should. So writing this down, what am I missing by choosing to worry or be afraid? What am I missing by choosing to worry or be afraid? I'm missing life. I'm missing love. I'm missing passion. The firsts and the lasts. I'm missing everything. I'm missing me. What am I missing? It's a big question. It's one of the biggest questions that I feel that I've said today. What am I missing by choosing? I'm choosing now to worry. I'm choosing to be afraid. It's not something that happened and it all of a sudden now I'm worried. No, I chose that. Your mind. Let me give you an insight on this. And I know we only have a couple of minutes left, and I may get into question number 5. I'm hoping I do. But your mind. Your mind doesn't know whether you're in it or not. You ever gone to sleep? You ever gone to sleep and dreamed about something? You woke up and it was so real. It was just so real. Because your mind, your brain, can't decide whether it's past, present, or future. It only knows what you give it, what you feed it. So if you feed it worry, it's going to respond that way. Your body is going to respond with worry. Your body is going to respond with fear. It's going to respond with negativity. It's going to give off negative emotions. It's going to give off negative connotations to other people, or what people call vibes. It's going to actually also produce a chemical reaction in your body that can actually mess you up and make your heart mess up, and you could kill yourself from stress and all kinds of stuff just from worrying and being afraid. Really, truly, you cut your life in like years. You're going to cut your years off your life for worrying and to be, why would we do that? Because we chose that. How come we can't choose to be happy? To see the positive in situations, even though maybe that person is not just, maybe they don't need to suffer anymore. And yes, it's going to hurt you to see them go. And this past year, I've seen so many people go, even my own stepfather go, and that hurt me dearly. But I wouldn't want him to suffer anymore, because that's just selfish of me. And I'm not going to worry, and I'm not going to be afraid, and I'm not going to let that harm me, because I have so many wonderful memories of him. So worrying and being afraid and being sad and all that is a choice. Now, grieving is great because it actually helps you to heal. But worrying and being afraid doesn't. Stress doesn't. There's so many different things that we could do. And so we look at it in a different way. How can we change our thought pattern from worry to positive, from afraid to not being afraid, from stressful to stress relieving? What can we do? Well, a lot of people say exercise. Yeah, that's great. Exercise is great. But when you come back to it and I'm finished with all the exercise, guess what? It's still there. How do you solve this? It's called making the decision to change it. What can you do instead? So it's like this. When we decided we're going to go on a diet, and I know this is kind of funny, but when we go on a diet and we decide, hey, this is what we're going to do. Instead of eating ice cream, we're going to go ahead and blend some strawberries and blueberries together. We're going to freeze it. We're going to make a smoothie, right? Okay. So the brain has a pleasure center. That's what you want to do. You want to hit that pleasure center. So instead of worrying, which is a center of the brain that gives you a reaction, that actually gives you a chemical reaction, which is negative for you, you want to hit a pleasure center in the brain. What brings you joy? What can you learn from this situation? What positive things can you get from this situation? What is it that you can pull out of this situation that's going to make this situation flip and become a better situation altogether? That's where the pleasure center comes in. And the more you hit the pleasure center, which is joy, laughter, happiness, positive things, the more you hit that, the less you want to go on that side of worry and being afraid. You don't want to be, you tend to kind of shy away from that, because now your body, what happens is your body says, look, I want joy. I want to hit that pleasure center. I want to hit that. I want that. I want the other good stuff. I want the good chemicals in this body. I want the endorphins in. I want all this good stuff to be in my body. I don't want this. So we have to practice that. So the better we become at that, the less we go towards worrying, the less we go towards being afraid, the less we go towards the stress. Everything happens for us to learn. We have to learn. We have to learn. Let me go back. Let me go here. Is anybody making any comments? I'm looking to see. I hope you're enjoying yourself today. I hope you're enjoying this word. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and go to my pages. I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anybody and that everybody's joining me, that's having a good time. Please share this video because it's going to be one thing that I think that most people are going to actually benefit from. Okay? We're all going to benefit from this. So the last question is, does this really matter? I mean, come on. Does it matter at all? Hello? Do I really have to go through this? Does this matter at all? Well, let me ask you a question. And I'm going to go ahead and write this down. I'm going to go ahead and save this, and then I'm going to display it here. Does this matter at all? You tell me if it matters. You tell me. This is not my life. I'm doing it. If you see me here, I'm doing this. I'm doing it and taking names. I'm doing it because it matters to me. Maybe in 100 years, what I've done today will die. But I don't have to be worried about 100 years from now. That's not for me to be concerned about. I'm not even going to be here in 100 years. I have to do what I want to do in life, and I want to make my life better by being happy. Yeah, it matters. It matters a lot. So when we drop our goals, when we don't do the things we're supposed to do in life, when we don't take assessments, when we worry and we're afraid and all this stuff, does it matter? Yes. Yes, it does. So what matters to me? What matters to me is that I don't put my gift under a bushel and hide it. What matters to me is that I touch as many people as I can with the positive message of living life to their fullest and not giving in and settling. What matters to me is that I don't settle. So write this down. This is going to be the 5th question. Does it really matter? Can you answer that question for yourself? Does it matter? I'm going to answer it for myself because I can't answer questions for anybody else but myself. Yes, it matters a great deal. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to be very upfront with you, and I'm going to get really private with you right now. I love my life. I grew up under the wings of my mother, who is a multi-platinum recording artist. She raised me as a single mother, singing on the road. She's had hit after hit after hit after hit. Look at me. Look what she did. She raised me by herself. I've traveled the world more than once, watching my mom go on stage in front of thousands. What did I learn? I learned that everybody's path is different, but my mom's my hero. By watching her, I learned not to settle. By watching her, I learned that, yeah, it's not going to be easy, because there were times where we were tired. We had to sleep in the car on the way to the next place, on the way to the next country, on the way to the next show. But I learned something. I learned that nobody's going to hand anything to you. You're going to have to go get it. And while you're going to get it, you're going to have to work hard to achieve it. And when you make your first steps, you're going to applaud yourself, because that's the biggest steps that you can make, because those steps add up to the next one that adds up to the next one. And being happy is the most important thing of all. Being grateful for your life, your family, your friends. These are the things that we need to really look at and say, you know what? We have the world. We have the world. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Don't forget that next week we have a wonderful, wonderful young lady, Randy Peyser, on the show. She's going to be with me. We're going to talk about getting that book deal. If you want to get the book deal, please share this with somebody, and write those questions down and answer them. Those are going to be 5 questions that are going to change your life today. And at the end of it all, does it matter? Oh, heck yes, it matters. If it matters, then what's holding you back from doing it? I put my hands up, guys. I don't know, but I want to just thank you guys so much. Again, that was the 5 questions that would change your life right now. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you next Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Dream Chasers Radio, so you can see more interviews of just all kinds of different people and artists that are coming up, that are making their first steps. And I want you to be inspired by them going after their dreams and their goals. It may not be the same thing, but their struggles, and everybody's struggles are the same, y'all. We just got to keep going and keep doing this. Thank you guys again so much for tuning in. And until next time, does it really matter? Yes, it does. Love you. See you soon. Bye.